It's coming, yeah. Hold on. Here you go.
Here you go.
Right there.
Thank you very much. First thing I wanted to say was that, unfortunately, I live in Roy Blunt's district in southwest Missouri.
Well, that means he has to take your calls. That's okay.
And I really miss Air America because, as a former hospice nurse, I used to have a hard time getting out of the car in your hours of broadcast to go into my patients, so I really appreciate that. I was just curious, in your broadcast, how much do you personally have in choosing your guests? And I really appreciate the way you're one of the few people who actually invites people that you know are going to spar with you, where so much of it is very pat and contrived, but your show, I really wondered how much you get to choose who those people are.
Thank you for the question and the compliment. If I really got to choose, then it would be all Cheney all the time, right? You know, then Bart Stupak would not just be the subject of discussion, he could actually participate in it. In terms of deciding who we ask to be on the show, there's no restriction on that at all. We ask anybody who I want to ask, we can ask. There isn't. I made a deal with MSNBC when we started that that they didn't have any problem giving me, which is that I needed full editorial control of the show, and so I have full editorial control. So that means that anything you think I'm screwing up on, it's me. There's no corporate overlord stopping me on that. The biggest issue that we have in terms of guests is that just people say no. That a lot of people, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to impugn anybody's motives because they won't tell us. And what we usually hear is that they're busy. But a lot of people who I would love to get to come on the program just won't. And so you know, that's part of the, people ask me sometimes about the relative, what I hope comes across as a civil tone on the show, even with those with whom I disagree and toward those with whom I disagree. And that is both how I feel and what I think is right in terms of the way that I'm most comfortable talking about politics. It's also, I'm also trying to encourage those who do disagree with me to know that if they will come on the show, even though it might be uncomfortable, they will be treated fairly. And you know, I'm not gonna, you know, it's not an ambush. You know what I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna be a jerk. You're gonna get time to say your piece. This is, you know, you're not gonna get screamed at. I don't like that kind of discussion, and I would hope that ultimately over time, if I can stay on the air long enough, that a reputation for that form of civility will encourage more people who disagree with me to come on the air, even if they do feel scared.
Do you have a favorite guest?
Pardon me?
Do you have a favorite guest?
Oh, whoever's given me the best stuff that day.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Right in the middle, Bill. Oh, behind you. I'm sorry, ma'am. In the orange shirt.
Hi.
Your show is a breath of fresh air.
Hold on. Is that mic on?
Hello, hello, hello.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Get right close to it. I said your show is a breath of fresh air. But one thing that occurs to me, you've done several pieces along the lines of, gee, did you see this ad run by, Americans for Democratic Progress or something like that? Oh, well, gee, look, these people who are have all these opinions about whatever this issue is. Well, these are clip art people. These are stock photos. These people aren't real. And,
right.
And oh, gee, look at the website. That name down there. This guy owns that oil company. But debunking a lot of the stuff that we hear every day on TV. And I guess my question is, what happened to honesty? These people, the guy who runs this ad, and good heavens, Karl Rove, these people make Nixon look like George Bailey.
Thank you for the question. You know, it's actually really cool to be in Little Rock while health reform is passing. To be here at the Clinton School and to be thinking about the lessons of the Clinton presidency approach to health reform as we're now, which didn't work, and we're now experiencing it working, and what's different. And between 1994 and 2010, how How have things changed? Was it just a strategic decision that changed? Did the country change? Did the problem get so much worse that that it had to be fixed this time? What's the difference? And I think it's some of all of those things, but I think it's also some of a different environment in terms of what you're talking about with honesty and being able to hold people accountable for what they say and who's saying what. And it's not just me. I think I play a very small part of it. I think more than that, it's citizen journalism and the internet. When everybody is investigating everybody, honestly, and you hope that by the time stuff makes it to press, it has been vetted, cross-checked, edited, and presented responsibly. But ultimately, there's just a lot more information about what's going on inside politics available to all of us because of people working in a citizen journalist kind of way in order to post stuff online. Everybody's got their own printing press now. And I think that helps with accountability, with reading the fine print, with finding out who's actually funding these groups, with who's actually taking these positions that they might otherwise want to be taking anonymously. It's harder to hide now. And I know people sort of resent the free-for-all nature of the internet, but that is one of the great benefits of it, I think, is that it makes the cost of dishonesty that much higher.